Hello and welcome to the channel. So today we are at the Bass Ponds, which is part of the Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge. And we have a really nice, partly cloudy, partly sunny day, depending upon, I guess, if you're glass half full, glass half empty. But we have a lot of really interesting things going on today. We've got some really nice light with the clouds. We have some really nice skies, which could be kind of fun. Just walk around, see what we can come up with and what we can photograph. So I came across these rather nice reflections of the clouds in this one little pond here, and I'm wondering if there's something that I can do to get some interesting shots of this. So let's play around with this for a little bit and see what we get. So I did discover that when planes go over, at least for right now, they're coming right across that cloud, which I think can make a pretty interesting shot. So let's just wait for the next plane to come through. I didn't have to wait very long before a plane flew over, and the one thing I noticed is I didn't really like the orientation of the way the plane was looking. So this is how I photographed it, but I found that I liked it much better if I rotated the image 180 degrees, which then gave me this one, which I liked much better, right? Sort of like the painter impressionist sort of look that the water gives. Nothing is sharp, but yet everything is pretty well defined. And the weeds, I'm not sure what kind of vegetation that is, that's growing, duckweed I've heard it called, does seem to add to the overall feel of this photo. So this area here is all floodplain, and we did have some floods not too long ago. In fact, just a few weeks ago, maybe a month. Time kind of compresses after a while, but what that does is it keeps the area really nice and clean from a brush and scrub perspective. A lot of the brush and scrub gets washed out as part of the flooding. Some of it does survive. As you can see, we've got a little bit going on here, but this gives us the opportunity to try a lot of different angles without having a lot of things get in the way in the foreground. Also, because it's so clean with all the various trees in it, we can do a lot of things working with negative space and separation. And we can also work with shallow depth of field to provide some additional separation between our subjects and the background. So let's play around in this area for a little bit and see what we get. One of the things I like to look for in these kind of environments is when I see something like this tree that has the younger tree, or maybe that's a branch that started at the ground, but just something a little bit different coming out of it. The challenge is, of course, how do you deal with the background? And a lot of times with landscape shots, we have this idea that we need to have everything sharp front to back. But here is a good example, I think, of where using a really shallow depth of field really comes into play, because the only thing that's sharp is everything that's at the distance of the front of the tree, and then the background just fades out pretty nicely. I like to try to find things that tell a story. So I look for subjects or scenes that when you look at them, they give you a sense of what has happened there. And this scene, I thought, did a really nice job of showing what happens when this area floods over. We have a lot of debris, a lot of fallen trees there, but then we also have the trees that are leaning over that's leading you into the background. And so we have both that depth as well as the story here. This area here is just really, really nice. It's a spot that I come down to by Long Lake, part of the Minnesota River, whenever I'm over at this unit. The views going up and down the river are just absolutely spectacular. And when we have clouds like today, all of that great atmosphere just really makes for some fantastic shots. I ended up spending about 3 hours just walking around exploring the area. Took a number of different photos, really had a good time just seeing what was going on the refuge this afternoon. And here's a slideshow of some of my favorite shots.
As always, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to be notified about future videos, go ahead and hit subscribe. Thanks. Bye.